28-0. They lost to Agua Fria 39-3. To Washington 21-0. To Cortez 30-7. They lost to Tolleson 31-0, and Sunny Slope 28-14 last week. But the one thing that pops out as I read those scores, Tim, is the fourth quarter. To Cortez, they gave up 14 points. Sunny Slope, they gave up 21. Arcadia 14, Barry Goldwater 21 points in the fourth quarter. They have a tough going in the second half.
Well, Dave, they've also had a tough schedule. You look at Arcadia, Goldwater, Agua Fria, Washington, Cortez, Towson. All those schools are tough schools. They all have good football programs. I believe all of them, with the exception of Towson and Sunny Slope, have winning records this season.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about it.
So they play in a tough conference.
There you're looking at some of the, or you were, the Glendale bench. Some of the defensive players. Try wants to throw over the middle. Short pass for a short gain. Harrington makes the catch.
Harrington is still limping a little bit, Dave.
Harrington got to the 30-yard line, so it'll be 4th down and 8 yards. Boy, he needed a lot more than that for a first down. And on 4th down, Gutierrez will be in to do the kicking, and there you're looking at Razzo, who is back to field this punt. He is standing at his own 35-yard line. Gutierrez, flags go down. Gutierrez will get the kick away at about his 20-yard line, depending on what this flag is.
Dave, you know, I've been looking at this pizza as it's matured during the game, and it really doesn't look very inviting.
Yes, Stu Radowick, our producer-director, brought a pizza up for the crew, and he left it right in front of us, and it's just gotten colder and colder and colder as the night goes on. 5-yard penalty, and that is against Miami for encroachment, but it is not enough for a first down. 35-yard line was the line of scrimmage. Kick gets away from the 25-yard line. Razzo will take it on a dead run at the 30. One move gets him to the 40-yard line. So the Vandals with good field position, their own 40 in the fourth quarter with 8:57 to go, and a 10-7 lead for Miami over Glendale.
Dave, I really like the way that Razzo runs with the ball. When he's ready to be tackled, he puts his shoulder down and he drives forward, and he consistently breaks at least one, maybe two tackles every time he touches the ball. That's a sign of a good football player, good running back.
There's our score and our time remaining in this one. Miami leading 10-7. It's not the Dolphins, it's the Vandals. I tell you what, the Dolphins would love to have a score like that, the way they've been playing lately. Vandals 5-3 coming into the game, and Glendale 0-7. The Vandals under the direction of quarterback Chris Williams. Here in the fourth quarter using the I formation and two receivers way out to the left. Handoff is to Matt Ortiz, and Ortiz managed only a couple, so it'll be 2nd down and 8. I would imagine the Vandals will be very content to keep the ball on the ground and eat up a little bit more of the clock. Their defense has done a great job.
Well, they came in here tonight with a very imaginative game plan, and I think their defense with their stunning and blitzing has really kept that Glendale offense off balance all evening.
I'll be interested to watch the Glendale offense when they get back out on the field and see if they rely on Harrington as much as they have in the second half, or if they'll go back to Mark Drain, who had a great first half. Drain has not been really involved in the offense so far in the second half. Williams loses his footing and maybe lost a yard, so it'll bring up a 3rd down and 9. Here's the conference between Gene Wright and Harrington on the sidelines. Andy Harrington is a junior wide receiver, and Gene Wright is explaining a little bit of the pass patterns to him and where he wants him to go to.
And you turn left here, and Pistol Pete's is right on the corner, right there as you turn left at the light.
That's right. 3rd down and 9. Big play defensively now for Glendale. Williams is going to put it up. It's complete to Razzo for a first down.
Okay, Dave, there's a good example of the way that Razzo runs. There's two Glendale defenders laying on the ground behind him that he literally ran over on that play.
Razzo carries it to the Glendale 36. Big play by the Vandals.
That's a pretty gutsy call, Dave. They're up by 3 points. throwing the ball. They haven't been effective throwing the ball this evening.
Isn't it amazing, too? They are just not effective throwing the ball short. But when they air it out 20, 25 yards, they can't be beat.
Well, I think it's when they choose to do it, the Glendale defense is just not expecting it.
Still a lot of time in this one. 7 minutes to go. Rush is on. Williams is trapped and dropped for a big loss. Looked like the ball had popped free for a minute. Mark Evans got in there and
he almost
made the hit on Williams.
Williams almost lost that ball. He tucked it away at the very last moment.
Well, he even gets a little hot under the mascots.
That didn't look like Warren when he lifted that.
No, it wasn't. I made a mistake earlier. So, as big a play offensively as it was for the Vandals 2 plays ago, this play defensively for Glendale was just as big. Watch Evans get in on quarterback Chris Williams. Williams will step up to avoid the rush, but Evans gets the big paw on him and just pulls him down. Williams did a good job to hold on to the football. Now rolling to the left. Williams has to turn. The ball pops free, and it looks like it's still free, and now it's going to be called an incomplete pass. I was waiting for referee Jim McKenzie to make the signal, but he didn't make it at first because Williams' arm was going forward when the ball was hit, and it's an incomplete pass. And they'll bring it back.
That's a big defensive play for the Glendale squad. They need to do that again.
Well, I'll tell you, that's a big break, too, for Miami. Watch on the replay. You can see his arm was moving forward when the ball was hit by the defensive player, and that is an incomplete pass.
But it appeared to me, Dave, that ball had already been removed from his arm before his arm was moving forward.
Well, you know, it's a very fine line, but what they give is the benefit of the doubt to the quarterback that if that arm is moving forward, even if the ball is released down at the bottom, they'll give him the benefit of the doubt as an incomplete pass.
Well, as usual,
again,
Dave,
they're trying to protect quarterbacks. Ortiz is in motion. Shotgun, and the pitch goes to Razzo, or actually the snap went to him, but flags went all over the place.
I think you've got a procedure call in the backfield, David.
They'll bring this one back. Well, I tell you, you can't single out one team in the penalty department anymore. Miami has had just about as many penalties.
Especially in the fourth quarter here.
They're discussing it with the Cardinals, so it is against Miami. Question is, that was 3rd down. Do you accept it or not?
Dave, the coaches are signaling vigorously that they should turn down that penalty. I don't know if the players picked it up on the side on the field. But Hernandez and his assistant coaches were trying to signal the players to
illegal motion on offense, refused, 4th down.
Okay, they declined the penalty, so they'll get the football back. They need it now with time on the clock. They don't need Miami running off any more time. 5 minutes and 58 seconds to go in this one. And it'll be 4th down and 12. And the punt that will come up here should put the Cardinals deep in their own territory. Back deep is Chad Roth. The kick is a good one. It will bounce and head into the end zone. Almost got a good handle bounce back into the field of play, but it did go into the end zone. So 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go in this one. Glendale takes over in the 20. We'll be back with our conclusion in just a moment. 2nd down. 4th quarter, Miami leads at 10-7. To throw over the middle, Mark Drain has it. Drain is free. Drain gets to the 43.
Well, Dave, we've been saying that they need to get Drain in this game in the second half, and that time it worked. And again, it was over the middle.
We have a player down, and while they're tending to that player, we'll show you Wright's pass at the very last minute to Mark Drain. The senior running back does a good job here, breaking a tackle, getting free, and to the 43-yard line. And now they looks like the teams are going back. Are they taking it back?
Flip. 24 offense. 15 yards remain, second down.
Well, clipping penalty on Mike Castrovinci. And that is
That's unfortunate.
penalty.
That's unfortunate.
Oddly enough, it takes them right back to the original line of scrimmage, the 20-yard line. They mark off 15 yards from the spot of the foul.
Dave, we've seen this a number of times this evening where Glendale has had a big offensive play, and it's been negated by a very costly penalty.
Well, it's an old and overused cliche, but they are their own worst enemy, and I think that's quite obvious. We don't have to say that. I mean, you can see it on the field with the penalties that they have accumulated in this game, and the second half is mounting up much like their first half, where they had 60-some yards in penalties. You can't win many football games taking that much yardage, you know, off your totals.
Well, if you look at their personnel, it's obvious they have the talent on the team to be a good team. It's just that those costly penalties and those mental errors have set them back this evening.
This is a school with a rich football tradition over many, many years. And, you know, lately it has been a tradition, or it has been a reputation in the negative sense.
Well,
that's got to turn around.
I believe in their last 43 or 44 outings, they've only won 2 or 3 football games, Dave. And
that to me is just amazing. Amazing.
It's a situation where you have a small enrollment. I believe the enrollment here is around 1,100. It's one of the oldest high schools on the west side, if not the valley. And that has an impact.
Well, you'll get down into an argument of, does good athletic teams come from numbers of enrollment, or does it come from discipline or coaching or dedication, or what is it? It has to be a combination of all of them, but I can't really sit down and believe that if your school has 5,000 kids in it, you're going to have a winning football team no matter what. I think you still have to go through the discipline, and you have to go through the coaching, and you must have the dedication on the field in order to do it.
Well, Dave, and you look at the Miami football team. There you have a squad of maybe 20, 25 kids.
Field walks off slowly, and we're back to action. It is second down and 10 over the middle. It is intercepted by Razzo. Razzo is still on his feet. Razzo trying to get to the outside, cuts back in. And Razzo just inside the 5-yard game, and it washed us out of our broadcast, which was a big disappointment. But that turned out to be a great game, and St. Mary's won it in the final minute. Razzo gets the pitch. He's going for the end zone, and pulled down from behind. Boy, he didn't get there. Nice play by Steve Fink.
Well, that was an excellent play to pull Razzo down. I haven't seen anyone do that all evening to Razzo.
That's got to be a sick feeling to be out there alone, one-on-one, on Razzo, and have him know which way he's going to go and you don't. Fink did a good job defensively.
It's even a sicker feeling knowing he's going to run over you.
He has that chance. There's Steve right there in the middle of your screen, number 85, Steve Fink. Second down and goal. They're at the 3. Matt Ortiz is the man behind Razzo. Razzo gets the ball straight up the middle, heading for that goal line. No indication yet. He is just short. It'll be third down and goal. Boy, he is just short of that goal line. We can get a shot on our ground level camera of just how close he is to that goal line. There you see the huddle, Chris Williams. They're working on Jeff Pugh on the sidelines.
Dave,
he'll be back.
I might mention that the University of Arizona had Razzo down for a visit earlier this year, so there are some colleges looking at him, and from the way he looks, his size and his running ability, he would make a good fullback for some college.
3:30 to go in this one. Third down and goal, about a foot away. Razzo gets the call, and he didn't make it. Fourth down coming up. Cardinals with a big goal line stand here. Steve Razzo gets up, and he can't believe it. 215-pound running back is used to getting in on those plays. There you see it, a yard away. Here comes the play in from the sidelines. From Paco Jimenez. Jimenez caught a touchdown pass in the third quarter of 54 yards. that tied up the game at 7. Now, 4th down and goal. The game could be right here. 2:45 to go. Razzo gets the call again. Is he in? No indication. Yes, there it is. The indication, touchdown. He must have just broken the plane. Chad Roth, one of the players getting up off the bottom of the pile, and some of the Glendale defensive unit not happy about that. But Razzo managed to sneak the nose of the football into the end zone, and the 6 points up on the board, making it 16-7 right now.
Dave, you know, we have 2 minutes and 39 seconds left, and Glendale, it looks like they may end up being 10 points down here very shortly. You hate to see a high school lose its homecoming game, but you got to stop and think about the number of errors, mental errors and penalties that have really caused Glendale to get behind in this game.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, Tim. The penalties alone, the unsportsmanlike conduct call, the penalties, the clipping penalties that we've had have just been way, way too much. From our ground level camera, you're going to watch Razzo go into the end zone here, and he has to fight for every inch that he gets. And I'm going to tell you, that is very, very close. .53 leading some of the blocking there is Charlie Yates. We have another injured player down. Some of the Glendale faithful heading for the exits now with only 2 minutes and 39 seconds to go in this homecoming game.
Dave,
Miami leads it.
Miami may be in a lower division, but they've played very competitively this evening. In the division they must play in, it must be a pretty tough division for them to be 5-3 because they've looked pretty good tonight.
Now there's a guy in the center of your screen. It's tough to get around. 73. Joey Camaduran. 73. And Razzo's going over. Look at Razzo standing next to him. Now Razzo's 215, and Joey, number 73, who's in the middle of your screen there, is 5'7", 250 pounds.
He's a big boy.
Takes a long time just to, walk around him.
That's right. I noticed they put him in on extra points and field goals. And I think he's just so big and wide, like you mentioned, David. It takes a long time to get around him.
I tell you, Joey's a gutsy player too. I mean, he's out there. He's moving that little 5'7" frame and that big weight of 250 pounds. He's moving it around on those plays every opportunity he gets. Another Glendale player down, and they are tending to him. We're awaiting the extra point, and then the final 2 minutes and 39 seconds of this. And we have had 3 injured players in the last 4 plays. While they tend to the injured player, we'll remind you of our score here with 2 minutes and 39 seconds to go. Miami has taken a 16-7 lead over Glendale, and we'll be right back. Well, Ricky Broughton was the injured player, and he was helped up and is now moving off the field, so we'll line up for our extra point. If you're just joining us, Miami has just scored. It's 16-7, and they have come from behind to take the lead. The extra point is up and good. Joe Cano kicked the extra point.
Dave, every time I look over at that Miami sidelines, I'm amazed because there's no one over there. You have some green shirts with the coaches, and all the players are out in the field.
Miami leads at 17-7 with 2 minutes and 39 seconds to go in this homecoming game for Glendale. And the Cardinals will get their hands on the football, and they're going to have to do something.
You know, Dave, I think instead of using a bus to bring this football team down there, they used a minivan.
Might have worked.
You ever wonder how they got the mascot Vandal? I mean,
well, I'll tell you what, they stole this one tonight.
They sure did.
That's probably how they got it. They've done a great job capitalizing on their opportunities. Glendale has 120 yards in penalties so far in this game. Joe Cano is going to kick off. Joe Cano is a freshman. He's a freshman at 190 pounds, gets the ball downfield to the 25-yard line. And the Cardinals will get it out to the 33. And that's where they'll take over with 2 minutes and 32 seconds left. And they need 2 scores to get back into this game.
With 2 minutes and 32 seconds. That's a tough call.
We had a scoreless first half. And Glendale came out. Chad Roth intercepted his second pass of the night. And the Cardinals worked to the 9-yard line. Castillo caught a 9-yard pass from Gene Wright, and the Cardinals were on the board first, 7-0. But then, 2 plays later, Chris Williams hit Jimenez on a 54-yard pass for a touchdown to tie it. Mark Drain. Drain catches it at the 44, and it's going to be enough for a first down.
Dave, I don't recall Glendale really trying to throw the ball long this evening. They've been throwing a lot of those short and medium passes, but nothing real long.
Here's Wright. Or check that, it was Jimmy Lee and not Drain. There's Mark Drain, number 40, coming into your picture now. Lee made the catch for 10 yards and a first down. Clock running at 1 minute and 45 seconds to go as the Cardinals send 3 receivers out to the right. And Wright will roll that way, and the rush is on, and he's going to have to run for his life. He has nowhere to go, and he's run out of time. Now cuts upfield and gets almost back to the line of scrimmage. He lost 4. Well, I'll tell you what, the Vandals put on tremendous pressure, and Gene Wright did a great job just getting back what yardage he did.
I think Gene Wright is going to be a fine quarterback next year as a senior. He really is showing some composure back there and really has some athletic talent.
Boy, this is a tough spot if your receivers do not come back to you now. If they don't see that you're in trouble and come back to you, you're in a lot of problems. Wright does a great job here, and it was his speed that got him to the outside and allowed him to turn upfield only for a couple of yards. You can see some of the receivers coming back. Harrington, one of them. Now Wright going to the other side of the field, incomplete. Castrovinci was the intended receiver, but he was double covered out there, and you can see Chris Williams back there on the coverage along with Managa. As we show you some of the people that have made this game possible, Joe did another great job on the replays tonight. We have 49 seconds to go with this one. Miami in control, 17-7, and Glendale has the ball in a 3rd down and 14 situation. 3rd and 14. 49 seconds remaining. Wright wants to throw, rolls to his right. Wright throws back over the middle, incomplete, intended for Mark Drain, and overthrew him at the midfield stripe. So it'll bring up 4th down and 14. And you would think the Cardinals have to go for it. There's 41 seconds remaining.
Well, Dave,
Wright was just off target.
I'd have to think that the key play in this game that really turned the game around was Rosso's interception towards the end of the game here, when he stopped the Glendale drive, intercepted the ball, and took it back down to the 9-yard line.
So it is 4th down and 14. 41 seconds remaining. And a flag goes down. Too much time. That'll cost them 5. It'll be 4th down and 19 now, and another penalty, make it 125 yards in penalties. .41 seconds to go in this one. Wright has split backs, wide receivers on both sides of the field. Sends 3 people into the pattern. He's going for Drain in the flat. It is incomplete. That is a strange play. 4th down and 19, and he throws to Mark Drain down and out on a 5-yard pass pattern.
Why not throw it over the middle?
Well, you've got to go downfield. You know, John Madden is right in this. If you need 19 yards, you got to have a 19-yard pass play in there. throw that ball into first down territory if you need that first down. So it goes over to Miami on downs, and Glendale will not get the ball back again. They don't have enough timeouts to stop the clock. They're down by 10 points, and the Vandals, all they'll have to do is fall on this football a couple of times, and they're going to win this football game. So credit Miami coming into town with a 5-3 record for doing an excellent job. Boy, I'll tell you, flag goes down and delay a game. You know, Tim, this is getting a little comical now. 32 seconds to go in this game. All you got to do is snap the ball and down it, and you can't get the play off the
Dead
top.
ball, delay
That's
game,
tough.
offense, 5 yards, first down.
Boys, it's not that difficult. Just get in the huddle, call the play, and go on up and snap the ball.
Do we have any numbers on yards penalized against Miami?
Let's see. Miami's penalties here in the total for the game. We'll get them for you here. Chris Williams at quarterback's been there the whole time, and he'll pitch to Razzo. Razzo will try and get outside. Breaks a couple of tackles. 35 yards in penalties.
Well, nowhere near Glendale's yards penalized.
Nope, that's going to do it. Razzo's carry around the right side. No, they're going to call timeout. Glendale's going to call time. Roth looked at the sidelines. Oh, he called timeout first and looked at the sidelines. I think they were shaking their heads no. But in any case, they went ahead and called the timeout with 13 seconds remaining. And we'll have to suffer through it, I guess. Next week, St. Mary's and Greenway. We'll have it for you right here on Channel 4 Sports. We hope you'll join us. And we appreciate you being along for this one. Glendale High School's homecoming game, as you see some of the faithful on the sidelines now as they make their evening plans for homecoming.
Dave, can you remember those days in high school as you were leaving the stadium on homecoming night?
Well, for me, it wasn't that long ago. Well, in the second half, Glendale's had a total of 7 yards on the ground, 54 yards in the air, and only 3 first downs. That lack of offense is what's really been a problem. 32 yards on the ground for Miami and 88 yards in the air. And the second half domination after Glendale scored to open the third quarter is what really made the difference. Now this I can't see. Williams, shotgun formation the final 14 seconds, and he's going to put the ball up in the air. And it's incomplete with 4 seconds to go. You tell me, I don't, you know.
Well, Dave, maybe they figured that they're never going to see Glendale High School again, and they're going to put another touchdown on the board if they can get it, because they know they're never going to have to face the Cardinals again.
Well, let me tell you something. After a play like that, they better not face them again.
I don't understand that at all.
Well, the one thing about high school football players, they graduate, so they don't remember, they don't come back. In the pros, you wouldn't get away with that. Not when you're leading by 10 points.
But they've got to leave the stadium to get on their bus, and there's a lot of Glendale fans that live around this
Well, I
area.
think maybe they said, well, if you're going to call a timeout, we're going to pass the ball. And now I'm sure that Coach Bill Johnson has said, no, he hasn't. He's going to throw the ball again. I can't believe it. He's going for it all. Down, and Roth, it is incomplete. And I tell you, there were whistles all over the place at the end, and there was some fisticuffs going on as the ball was intercepted by Jimmy Lee as the gun went off. And the officials just simply stopped the game. And I think that there were some short tempers out there by saying, hey, what are you throwing the ball for? You're leading 10-7. Now they'll discuss it. And I think if the smart move right here would be just to end it. It's over with.